go. What's up, Anders? There we go. All right. Let's get this going. What is going on today, guys? Let's see how we're looking. Pretty close. Let's put them together and do a clean up. Switch over here. There we go. Hello, Soledad. All right, let's give that a check. See what we're looking at here. I just want to inset it just a hair. Looks like that's really good. See, it's inset just a little bit. Looks like we have easiest way is to mark it with a marker. It's pretty close. Just a little bit right here. Maybe a little bit right there. and a little bit there. And then we'll take that off and we should be ready to sand this. Moving right along here. All right, let's grind those spots. Just like that. Do one final check and then we'll shape them. Maybe. That looks good. All right. Now, let's add a little shape to this. Not a ton, because I don't want to take away from the really cool burnt wood texture, but we have this really cool pattern in here to reveal. So let's go ahead and, ow, just hit my head. Kick this sideways. There we go. Pop our other dust collector piece on here. Dust collection's a big deal when you're working with resin. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's shape this time. Oh, almost got it. Okay. So before I get started on finished grinding these, I'm going to sandblast this really quick and get in the etch to darken it all up. So, let's see if we can pop it in here really quick. You might not be able to see a lot. Okay. Last of that. right. Get this cleaned off. Actually, it's probably pretty clean. Let's just wipe it down really quick. Oh, which one did I use? Sure, that's probably fine. I'm going to put this in the etch so we can get it nice and dark. All right. There we go. Check it really quick. Looks pretty good. All right. There we go. Let that sit in there for a little bit. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes. Now back to this. Let's get this hand sanded. Start to bring out the colors. Where's my chair at? Then we can get it glued up. Ooh. Take this respirator off. We're gonna have water, it won't be a big deal. So I'm gonna start with a 400 grit. And you really start to see the cool colors come out once I start sanding it. Keep on keeping, brother. I appreciate you. I'm going to sand all the scratches out of this. And you can already see it's starting to bring out the color of it really well. This is when it starts looking really cool. Got to make sure you get all those scratches out. Good morning, Eric. How we doing this morning? The last knife for the drop tomorrow, so I'm really excited to get it all finished out. Not bad. Sun is bright, coffee's ready. That's what we're talking about right there. Oh, I love my morning coffee. Woo. It's like a ritual. I think it's less about the coffee and more about the hot liquid every morning. Yeah, I think that is good. Let me check. Best way to check is I blow it off with some air. This will allow me to see all the little scratches. I gotta pull out. So it looks like, yeah, you can see them. You see those little scratches? So we got those ones. I got, looks like some more up here. There's a little bit more here. So we got a few more spots. One back there. A few more little scratches to go. Got that one. One up here. This guy. A bit more fun. There's a lot going on in that. I'm not 100% sure, but if I can help in any way, that'd be great. Started drinking coffee at 10 years old. Caffeine is my addiction, then it currently is the flavor. What stone is that? So this is actually resin. It is. I took a mold of charcoal, of burnt wood, with silicone mold. I poured silicone over it, took the mold, poured resin in it to mimic charcoal, but it's stable, so it won't break down over time. So it looks, and then I put some really cool red colors in it. So it's actually mimicking charcoal. Alright, let's check that. Let's see. Yeah, so it literally looks like burnt wood. Right now I'm just checking for scratches before I move up. And it looks like ember's glowing. Kind of looks like it, especially when it's really sanded out. So I got a little bit of scratches right there. Wow, it's good. Thanks. So we got a little bit there, a little bit more there. I gotta pull this one out really quick. That one's gone. That one's gone. There we go. Now we can move up. Move up to a 600 grit. Let's do that. This is when we start seeing it come out a little bit more, the color at least, which is always nice. Appreciate you guys being so kind about my work. It means a lot. I've been doing this for a long time now. Sir, are you manufacturing firearms? I am not. I'm actually a knife maker. My name's Gunstone Creations because it was the road I started the business on. Alright, let's get this baby sanded to a nice, cool 600 grit. Are you British or American? I am American. I live in America. Do you have a knife gun or a gun knife? I have a knife and a gun gun. How about that? I know a couple people who make knife guns, but that is not me. Alright, there we go. This baby's cleaned up. Try not to rush when I'm on here. Do you make D10 knives? I don't. Not really my my specialty. I mean, I could, but I just don't feel like it. Man, what you did is super awesome. Folks like me love it. Well, awesome. I love to hear it. To be honest, it's rad. Don't forget to jump and thump. Oh, I squirted on my. Oh, that sounded bad. I got some water on my lens. I'm gonna wipe it off. How does your anvil sound? How does your anvil sound? Is it expensive? No. My anvil is not expensive. I have two anvils. One's just a big 1.5 inch thick chunk of steel I've been using for the last 8 years. And then the other one's a Harbor Freight one that my kids use. And I forged out thousands of knives on them. Expensive anvils are awesome, but they're not necessary. You may also thump a dump if you need to. Oh, okay. Good to know. God, sounds like you got Dr. Seuss. You're gonna write a book? I have to do my homework. I subscribe to you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so that's 600 grit, which is looking pretty good. Let's jump up to 1500 and call it at that. What is the lobster claw you are making? Is it a handle? The lobster claw. Yeah, it's a handle. So it goes on one of these. These are called my XL sharks. And the handles are for one of these knives. This one's got a stonewash finish. But yeah, that's the knife. I still gotta glue those up, so that'll happen soon. I glued my balls to my butthole again. You know, honestly, that's a feat in itself. I'm gonna be honest with you. So that's a bummer, but kudos to inventing new things. Beautiful knife and craftsmanship, sir. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. What is your most expensive knife? Like ever? I think it was like $6 grand. But not something I do that often. Alright, let's get this baby to a 1500 grit and then we'll probably call it at that. Maybe. I might go to a 2000. We'll see. Haven't really decided yet. Did I do a 2000 and a polish to bring out that color really good? What makes a knife $6 grand? Was it the time you spent, fancy design, or expensive material? Material's never really expensive. The time it takes, the time and skill is what you're paying for. So, it's a Damascus, it was a Damascus or Sandblasting blade. It was all hand forged, no press or power hammer. And it was a katana. But it's never material cost that makes it expensive, at least for knife making. It's always the skill and the time involved. That's what makes a knife expensive. At least for me. Materials are actually super cheap for a knife. Why do people want hand forged? Isn't power hammer more consistent? It takes more skill to be able to forge and effort to be able to forge something out by hand. Yeah, power hammer is going to be the same thing. It's just you don't have to utilize a hand hammer. And people want, it's not really for anything, but the fact of like having something that's hand forged probably brings them back to simpler times. Random knives are 15 to 3,000. Yeah, a lot of it too. You're paying for the name. His knives are good. Random knives are good, but you're paying for a random knife. All right, let's see. Let's see if that works. And that's also a lot of it too. You get to a point where you do pay for the name, especially if someone's work is sought after. Have you made a butterfly knife or out the front? No, I have not. A lot of people ask me if I've made butterfly knives. I'm not really sure why. Butterfly knives apparently are really popular. All right, let's see what she looks like if we put a quick polish on this thing. Well, I got here, some of their models are like a replica of the Vietnam SOG blades. Yeah. This is a car buffer. And it spins at 500 feet per second. Really slow. We take a little. I was gonna say take a little bit. Oops. We take a little bit of this. Let's just pretend that. For a knife, you gotta be a. Oh no, people spend that much on a knife all the time. It's about the artwork. I'd rather pay for quality and craftsmanship and durability than a name. It's a dual orbital sander. This, it's a buffer, but there's, I mean, it all depends. There are people out there that will say, I would never spend that much on a knife, but there are also people out there that would buy a car that they definitely don't need because they like the car. So, just depends on what you're into. There's people out there that spend thousands of dollars on Pokemon. So, it just depends on what you're into. And some of these knives are considered investment pieces because if the maker is a good maker, the price of his knives just keeps going up. So that is another thing to consider. If you can get in early on a knife maker, that's... Look at that. That's looking good. Get in early with a new knife maker or new-ish before their work blows up. Then their work ends up being worth more than what you paid for it. So we'll jump up and grit on this. I think this looks pretty good though. What's up, Walt? Oh yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Alright, let's jump up here. Just Alex, what's going on? Turn that on. We'll jump up to... I'll just use the chemical guys. In today's day and age, it's 15 to 2,000 for a knife. No disrespect by no means. I'm a 100% disabled vet and I barely make ends meet. So, here's the thing that's wild. No matter what, in this day and age, there's always going to be people that have money. And money to spend. There are people out there, that's just the way the world works. Spend thousands on fishing gear, 500 in single fly. Yeah, mind-blowing to me. Anyone has that amount of disposable income. It's just, that's the way the world is though. There's always people out there that are going to have disposable income. Not all of us are making a ton of money, but there's always people out there that are. And so that's kind of the way the world works. It's wild, but great learning tricks from you. Well, I'm glad you can learn some tricks from me. Oh, look at that. And these are tools. So I try to make tools, you know, like what I look at it is functional artwork. I try to make knives that not only are they cool to look at, but you can use these every single day. And these are like these ones that I'm doing are like $470 a piece, and like $500 or $300. So it's not a little bit of money, but it's also not a crazy amount, especially for a piece that you're going to use, hopefully, for the rest of your life. Some have disposable cash, then they lose it, then they get humble. This is true. Yeah, it all depends. But all I know is I always hope that there's people out there who are working their butts off, making awesome money, because that keeps the world going around, you know? People have to spend money, and if they choose to spend money on my stuff, it's a humbling feeling, and I'm forever grateful for them. But, and I mean, it's not really, I guess, disposable cash. It's just choosing where you want to invest. What's up, Scooter Mad? What is going on? Oh, this is looking good, guys. Save for quality. And the other thing we try to do, I try to do, is make generational knives. I want knives that you can pass on, that are cool forever, that are a talking piece, not just a knife. Yes, you can go to Walmart and get a knife, for sure. But this is more than that. How are you? I'm doing great. About to be gluing up all these knives, and we're just, what? All right, Liam. Let's try to keep it a little PG on here. There's kids that get on here, man. I do try to have a safe channel because there's kids on YouTube, and which blows my mind. But I hope that you guys, if you're on here and you're young, this is a good channel for kids to be able to get on. Most people spending that much on a knife isn't working hard for their money most of the time, in my opinion. I love the thought of generation knives in the club. So here's the thing I have come to realize as a business owner and stuff, kind of a hot take. Our version, I was a blue collar worker my entire life, like my whole life, working so hard for my money. And I didn't make that much. But being a business owner now, talking to other people, we always assume people that have a bunch of money don't work hard for their money. How do you think most of them got there? The percentage of people that actually get inherited money is so little. Most people who run $1 million companies started from absolutely nothing. And they worked so incredibly hard to get there. And now they're reaping the benefits of their hard work. So I try not to talk down on people that have money or assume that they just have it easy, because they're still taking bigger risks. Most of them take bigger risks than we've ever, like with money, than we've ever had in our lives. They'll risk it all. So that's my 2 cents on that. We've definitely extremely amazing knives that are showpiece. Thank you. Oh, you're good, Liam. No worries. Thoughts on Forged in Fire? I think it's great. I watch Forged in Fire. I've had a lot of friends on Forged in Fire, and I think it's awesome for the knife making world. It brought a just shot it out of my hand. It brought a lot of people and got them interested in knives. Where'd that other pin go? I only got one pin. But no, I like Forged in Fire. I would never go on it personally. Dang it, I lost the other pin. All right, I'll grab another one. But I think it's great. What are those knives called? The ones I'm working on are called XL Sharks. Yeah, these are XL Sharks. I'm going to have a drop of the available knives. That'll be tomorrow. They'll just go on the website Friday. Not sure. It's just randomly timed, too. Why not go on the show? For me, so the show seems like it doesn't take long, but it actually takes about 3 weeks if you make it to the finals. And right now in my life, 3 weeks of income, you get about $6 grand from the show if you win after taxes and everything. And I'd have to be away from my family, and so it's not really worth it. And for me, they don't do good enough advertising to make it worthwhile. Because, like, you can't even wear your logo or advertise your business. And so that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, I'm not going to say I'll never go on the show, but as of right now in my life, don't need to. All right, let's wipe this thing. Actually, let's blow it off. No plugs. No, there's not, which is kind of a bummer. Because without the people going on there, they wouldn't have a show. All right, let's clean this thing off. I'm just scooting in my chair. I gotta stand up. But I encourage the show. I like the show. I think it's cool. But yeah, just not for me. Whew, it's looking good. Look at that. I ordered some handle wax from you. And do you make knives full-time or do you have another job? Oh, that's so cool. You ordered some handle wax. This is my full-time job. I've been doing this full-time for, it's hard to tell. I think 5 years, 4 or 5 years I've been doing it full-time. And I've been doing it for 9 years in total. Great looking shop you have. Thank you. Do you have a favorite blade design? Yeah, my favorite blade design, as far as like my EDC, the Baby Shark. This is my favorite one. Only part of the show that I liked was when you get to see the forges at home. That's my favorite part too. Yeah, so this is my favorite. And then I have the XL Shark, but I have a bunch of different models. I still love all these different models. I have like the Hunter. This one's got ballistic scales. So this is what's going up Friday, all these. So, but yeah, the Baby Shark for an EDC is my favorite. But there's my shop. So yeah, I've been doing it full time for, gosh, about 5 years. Thanks, guys. You guys are really kind. All right, let's get this cleaned out. And then we are pretty much ready to glue up. There we go. Beautiful. Really nice style knife making. Thank you. So I'll pull those apart. Take these pins out. Wipe this baby down. I love your craftsmanship. You're absolutely amazing. I'm Spider from Winton, California. Oh, thank you. That is so cool. Do you ever scout carry or do you only appendix carry? So let me show you guys. The way this is designed is I can carry like that. It's such a nice carry. It's so easy to get to. So I always appendix carry these. Scout carrying I don't like because you have to search for the sheath. When it's in front like this, you can grab it so easy and you don't have to search for the sheath. So for me, it's the best way. Do I homeschool or public? Private. So I'm blessed enough to send my kids to a private school. It's a private Christian school and we really, really love it. It's actually a really good school. Unfortunately, public school is not something I want to do. My name is Yusuf. What's up, Yusuf? Can you show us our car? That's Kevin. 1975 Honda CVCC. Yeah, appendix car is red. What are you making? Right now, I'm gluing up handles. I'm getting ready to glue these XL Shark ones on. And then these guys. But that reminds me, Alexa, timer off. I got to grab this out of the acid. It's a ferric chloride acid. This is the knife. I want to go full-time knife making. Been at it for 8 years-ish. Oh, that's awesome. It's it isn't for the faint of heart. All I can say is figure out how to market yourself and your knives. I don't understand anything you're saying. Sorry. Public lost control of the basics in the early years, at least in the Seattle area. Yeah, I just can't trust the system with that, so my kids are worth way too much to me. Okay, let's see what we got here. So this is a baking soda and distilled water, and that neutralizes the etch. And we'll go over here and we'll wipe it off. It was fully running on its own, but moved back out of Cali and haven't set the shop back up yet. Oh, I gotcha. Nice channel. Thank you so much. Yes, he sells them. Check out his link. Oh, thanks, guys. Oh, do you sell them? Yes. Gunstonecreations.com is where I sell all my knives. There's nothing on there right now for sale. Tomorrow, Friday, I have a bunch of knives that'll be coming available. Alexa, timer off. I'm in Canada, so knives have to be visible and smaller than 6.5 blade length. Yeah, so that's honestly pretty much all my knives are under that. And I ship a lot. I ship all over the world for free. I never charge for shipping. But all my blades pretty much, I have a couple that are bigger, but most of them all fall under, they're about 4.5 inch. And then you have like the little ones, like the baby sharks or the XL sharks, like these that are smaller. Are your blades first come, first serve, or do you take orders? They're all first come, first serve. I don't do orders. It's just personal preference. And this looks good. I'm going to stonewash this though. Yeah, I have a website. It's gunstonecreations.com. Hey, what's up, Kraken? Doing great. How you doing? Let me stonewash this really quick. What kind of steel are you using? This is ABL, stainless steel. So the stonewashing happens really quick. So you can see this right now. G10 I like better. It's going to get loud for a second. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just like that, we are stonewashed. So there we go. That's all it takes. Stonewashing happens so quick. Locked in my country, only 9-inch locking blades are illegal. Definitely check your website. Thank you. Have a dish coal forge. Can you suggest a quality company / to acquire coal forge fuel? I don't do coal forging. Stonewash is one of my favorites. That's rad. I love your lifestyle. Thanks. I do like stonewashing. I do like some Cerakote too, though. Oh yeah, we do some Cerakoting. I got all kinds of colors of Cerakote. I Cerakote in-house too. I recently got my shot back, and videos like yours are like teachers to me. Oh, that means a lot. Thanks. Well, hopefully I can point you in the right direction here. See if we can get these pins in here. Come on. Don't be shy. There we go. There's half. Pop this guy on the other half. There we go. Oh, that's going to look cool. Yep, free shipping, international. I ship free worldwide. All right, next step here. Let me put some gloves on. I'm gonna glue these babies up. What does stonewash do? So stonewashing, it doesn't do much. Honestly, the only difference is when you have a stonewash blade, it puts these marks in here. And what's cool about that is now when you use this blade, if it was just black, you'd see all the scratches from using it. But then when you stonewash it, you purposely put in these marks that makes it look cool. When you use it, you won't even notice the scratches on it because it's part of the aesthetic. Pav, what camera are you using? DJI? No, this is my iPhone with a Moment fisheye lens. So I use this fisheye lens from Moment. And so, how do I put it back on? Ah! Hard to see. There we go. Won it. That's awesome. I respect the private school and having religion be part of that too. For sure. It's big for us. Would you consider doing sub tours in the future? Yeah, that'd be cool. I enjoy having a good knife. Me too. You are so skilled in your job. Thank you. Mobile King, what's up? I'm doing great. So, this is how I do my glue up. I have a pot of wax here. This is the wax that we make. It's my wife makes it. It's just 2 parts. It's beeswax and MCT oil, coconut oil, in a certain ratio. But this is what makes gluing up so easy for us. I hold this together. If not your knife, what other brand do you like to carry? I enjoy Andy at Half Ace Blades work. I'm honestly super cheap. I don't buy other stuff. Did you remember me? I do. I remember your name. So I'm going to paint this wax on all over the seams. And then once I get the seams covered, then we're going to take it and dip it in there. So watch this. And then we just go boop. I met Andy. Used to take my knives to the same place he did his haircut. Oh, that's rad. Yeah, Beto's cool. Where does your wife get the beeswax? I don't know. She just orders it. Not really sure. Half Ace is dope. What you think of copper handle on the baby shark? Okay, so I have a really exciting plan for baby sharks coming up, and probably some XLs. I ordered a bunch of copper, 3/16 copper, and I'm gonna be doing copper handles with the blue and green antiquing on it, and then I ordered clear coat Cerakote to seal it. So we're gonna be getting shipwrecked baby sharks soon, and I am excited for them. They're gonna be so cool. Do you love India? I don't know much about India, but honestly, I don't really care about loving a country. I do love the people in the countries, though. That's what I'll say. Indy gave me some tips for knife making. Hem creamer knives and O3 Metalworks. Oh, that's rad. Wait, what is the wax for? So what's going to happen is I'm waxing everything right now. So that way when I glue up, the glue doesn't stick to wax. So everything that has wax on it, the glue will literally just peel right off of. And since they're going to be finished afterwards, I'll just peel the glue off, wipe it down, and I'm done. The glue won't stick to the handle, it won't stick to the blade, it won't stick to anything but where I want it to stick. So I'll show you here in a second. I dip it. We get that part. And then what I do is you pop the scales off. And then you're left with, if I can get that off. Come on off of there. Then this is clean where the glue is going to go. And if you have a little extra, you can just scrape it off. But there you go. So then you end up with a nice clean scale, so the glue won't stick to anything but the scale. Do you repair knives? I do not repair knives. I mean, if they're my knives, I will repair them if something happened to them. But not other people's, no. I just don't have the time for it, to be honest. Okay, and then like I said, if there's a little bit extra, I'll just scrape that off. Just make sure it's nice and clean. Nice, I'll try this out myself. The wax is such a good move. It is made, especially when you do it the way I do. I finish the scales out before I glue. So having the wax on there makes everything really, really easy. I had to ask, can you recommend anyone? To do knife repair? Honestly, I don't know anyone that does knife repair. I wish I did. There's probably a handful of makers that do. I just don't know. What the skibbity Mr. Yapper has no riz, for real, ONG. Okay. I mean, you could say that. I don't think it's true. Saying I got no riz. Come on, bro. I got a smoking hot wife. Yeah, it is always so stressful to get all the glue before it dries out. Yeah, so this wax is just a game changer, honestly. I'm going to be selling bigger tins of my wax so that people can do it, because right now they come in tins like this. So, but I'm going to be selling like the big tins of it. So that way you can get a crock pot and melt them down. This is the best way when they're in a little crock pot. It works so good. But, all right, let's glue these. What part of this is Blacksmith? Well, after you make knives, when you're making knives, yeah, this isn't the forging part anymore, the blacksmithing part or bladesmithing part, but this is part of it, unfortunately. They need handles. But the beauty of it is if you don't want to watch it and don't want to be here, you don't have to. All right, so grab a seat here. Here we go. Now this is 5-minute epoxy, so this stuff sets up pretty quick. But I can be pretty messy and it won't actually matter. We'll just do these two. Yeah, there's a lot of things about blacksmithing and stuff that we don't really want to do, but we have to. Can't just be fun forging all the time. Unfortunately. All right, so then take this, pop that on there, like that, flip it over, take the next half, pop that on there, and look at how messy I can be. There's glue everywhere. What did you say? 5-minute epoxy sets in less than 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, so I'll set a timer for 12 minutes. 12 minutes is a good range for me to be able to grab it, but then we just take these clamps, give it a squish. Just checked out your website. Love your knives. I like all, but your nuke knife is my fave. The nuke's an awesome one. So we'll put these clamps on here. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes.
12 minutes, starting now.
There we go. One thing I always have to check when I do these is making sure that the tops are lined up. No matter how fun whatever you are doing is there will still be your least favorite part. You're dang right about that. It's always going to be a part that we're like, ah, you don't necessarily want to do. All right, there we go. Now they're lined up. I love these little clamps. They're cheap and they work amazing. All right, so we got those ones set up, and in 12 minutes I'll pop them out, clean them up, and they'll be done. Wait, a 5-minute epoxy in aviation maintenance and it would start to set in 3 to 4 minutes. It all depends on the temperature with the 5-minute epoxies. If this epoxy is 80 degrees, it's going to take off quick. But if it's colder, it's probably at like 65 right now in here. So it's not crazy. I almost used, or wait. Yeah, I almost used that again. That's funny. All right, let's mix this last one up. And I always put a little bit of black dye on my epoxy. I put a little bit of black dye on here, and it dyes my epoxy black. Just in case there's any micro gapping or anything, it blends it right in. You don't even notice it. So I'll mix this up. But the beauty of it, the 24 hours is good, but I've tested the 5-minute versus 24 hour, and there's not really much of a difference, especially for these knives. If I was making like some huge chopper that was going to be taking all this crazy abuse, I might use 24 hour, maybe, but it's not really a big deal. There we go, so we'll let all that. Since we got all the wax on here, I can be as messy as I want. And it's so satisfying, you can just peel off that glue. There we go. So now we'll take this, pop this on here. Nice website. Wow. What has been your most expensive knife ever sold? It was $6 grand. And it was a katana. And to be honest, I might never make one again. Thanks for checking out my website. I appreciate that. All right. Now, we'll make sure that the tops are lined up nice and even. Pop these clamps on there. Boom. Make sure that's pushed up. Just look how messy that is, and it's literally going to come perfectly clean. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes.
Second timer, 12 minutes, starting now.
Okay. Love how you're being particular on handle placement and how they sit. Yeah, I really want them to sit well. It matters, you know? And if they're off by just a little bit, you can definitely tell. So I think, so I always wipe the glue off so I can see how close they are. And that looks really good. I like that. Check the reveal back here. I think that's good to go. What polish and polish wheels do you use? So I use, hold on. Oh my hands are messy. I use the Chemical Guys. It's a car polish. So all it is paint correction polishing. And I use, it's 32, 34, 36, 38. And then we have the SPTA buffing wheels. And a 500, if you're going to use the like car buffer system, make sure you use a slow one. That one only goes 500, down to 500, a variable speed one. So you want to do that. But that's what I use. Okay, so now we wait our 12 minutes, and then we're going to be cleaning these up and getting a look at the finished knives. But as I wait for those, I have to get started on the sheaths. So let's heat up our press here. Turn that on. Wow, that nuke, you make it sick. Thank you. Cool, thank you. No problem. So we'll let the press heat up because I'm going to do some sheaths for these XL sharks. And where's my, there it is, my pick. This is what I use to pick all the glue off. But put that up there. We can put all this away. We should be done gluing up today. Get that put away. Get this glue cleaned up. Several years ago, I bought what I thought was a quality brand knife to find out the quality was subpar. Very disappointed after spending several hundred. That sucks. Yeah, it's unfortunate. People suck. I really try to put a lot of work and effort. People are spending good money on my knives, you know. $500, $400 is a lot of money. You know, that's an investment, and I don't want someone to get their knife and go, ugh, this wasn't worth it at all. That would suck. So I really try to make sure you guys, when you spend your money on me, you get something that's worth it. Let's get that thrown away. There we go. I always try to keep a pretty clean workspace. It helps me think. Ah, it's stuck to my hand. Okay. This is always when I'm like, dude, why don't this thing just go by? Oh, actually, you know what? I got to do the sheaths. I got these sheaths. Let's set these. Let's go check the retention on these knives that are going to be dropping tomorrow. So, let's see here. Let's see, we got, if I could remember which ones are which. Ha ha! All right, here we go. All right, that fits perfect. Tighten it down. So all my knives come with these sheaths. They have adjustable retention. So you could tighten or loosen it a little bit, depending on how easy or hard you want it to be when you carry it. I usually pre-check them before I ship them out. I'm going to tighten this one down just a little bit. A knife being made. Be a worthy proof of my current. Oh, well, I appreciate you. And I get it, man. Things are tough. You being here honestly means the world, so. Okay, so that one's good. Darn, which one's which? Oh, I got two here, but I don't know which one goes to which one. I know this one goes to this. Do my best to make my blades look good, but I personally prefer function over beauty. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but that's why I try to do both. Okay, so function's definitely what you want. I mean, for me, that's what I want as function. But if you can kind of get both, what happened to my pen? Dude, I lose stuff all the time. Where'd my marker go? Oh, it's over here. There we go. Let's grab this. There we go. So now, this one, you can see it's sitting a little proud. It's not quite down in there. So I got to go down about this far. So we got to cut that out. So let's give a thumbs up. Appreciate you, Eric. How many? My workspace, it's 36 by 36 feet. So, all right, so we're gonna grind this little notch out here. Move that up a little bit. All right, let's see if that did it. There we go. Look at that. How long have I been using YouTube? I started a channel years ago, but I've only been doing it for the last, since December 14th. There we go. All right, we're in. You can see that little bulge right there. That's the retention that holds this knife in. So. All right, so that one's good too. I got to figure these ones out though. Did a double tap and subscribed. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, which one's which? Let's see. One's pretty small. This one maybe? That one might be the one. That fits pretty dang good. Okay, so I think that's that one. And that one's that one. There we go. So I think that those are good. Beautiful. How did you make the handle molds for your baby sharks and the other knives? I love your knives, and how do you make them? So, awesome. These all fit. Now I can take clips off and put them on here. I made the handle molds. They're right here. So what I did is I made a hand ground and polished a set of scales for my baby sharks that I love the fit. And then I put this in a square and I pour liquid silicone over it and then pull it off. Oh, they're in here actually. Well, I'll show you. So, Alexa, timer off. So then you pour, I'll show you guys, your resin in there, and when you pull them out, they're ready to be milled. My wife poured these. She's been pouring most of my scales. She does awesome work. So then these are the molds. Oh, she did sparkles. Let's wipe these off. All right. She'll probably be mad because I'm pulling them out, but. So essentially what you do is after you do that, you can just take these and then you just mill the back side. So that's the mold. Those are so gold. Holy cow. Look how gold those are. Oh, my wife's funny. She did a bunch of them. All right. Enough of that. These first ones are done. So now, all you do is you take this little pick, and because I put the wax on there, look at that. The glue just comes right off. So all that mess is all gone. So then what you end up with is a nice clean thing. So all this glue just comes right off. Oops. And then you just take this guy and wipe it down. Alexa, timer off. And you end up with the finished product. Yeah, one thing I've always tried to do is I tried to always keep everything in-house and make everything myself. Try not to outsource anything. So that way when you buy something from me, you know it was made in this shop by these two hands. This wasn't like one guy doing one thing, one guy doing the next. It was all right here. We hit it with this. And I do a double check just to make sure we have all the glue off. And there's a little bit left right there. No big deal. We just wipe it all off. And there you go. Ready for the sheath. So then we do the same thing here. Take that glue off of there. Because without this wax, I wouldn't be able to peel this glue off. It would be so hard to get off of here. And I use the wax trick on everything I glue up. Beautiful knife. Thank you so much. You guys are really, really kind, really awesome. I appreciate you guys being here. It means the world to me. The fact that I get to share my art, my creation with the world, it's cool. Watched you once before removing the wax. Forgot the process though. How old is this knife? This knife is brand new. This baby's being born right now. The process for the wax is actually super simple. Let's use this trick. I mean, you just literally apply wax to everything you don't want glue on. Go. These are really awesome visual lessons. Really appreciate them most. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is probably the easiest way for me to explain things. I'm just explaining as I go, like everything I do normally day to day. So I try to explain the process while we're doing it, which I don't mind at all. I actually enjoy chit-chatting, and I don't mind explaining what I'm doing or how I got here. These little brushes are so good for getting the last little bit off. So then we're going to go around and just make sure everything's just nice and clean. Because even with the wax, if this glue is allowed to set up for like overnight, it's going to be so difficult to even get the glue off with the wax. Eventually it does kind of absorb through the wax, so you can't leave it on there forever. Thanks for sharing. No problem. There we go. Check that one out. That one's cool. And the other trick you can do is if you have little spots that you're like worried about, you can take a little bit of acetone, not alcohol, acetone, And if there's a little bit of glue left, it'll evaporate the rough spots and leave it really clean. Now, I will say you won't be able to do this unless you polish your scales really well. Because if you use like a finish or something, it'll strip the finish off. But I can do this because there's no finish on these scales. They're actually sanded to a high gloss. So there's nothing to strip off. And we'll take this. There we go. And we'll do the last one. Let me put these clamps away. What's going on? Thanks for being here, guys. Keeping me company while I work, huh? All right, look how ugly this is. Ooh, disgusting. Let's fix that. Give it a scrape down here. So crazy going from absolutely ew, disgusting to so clean and finished. There we go. And then we go like this. It's still kind of ugly. But we take these little rags. What are these called? Terry towels. Terry towel it, and that cleans everything up. And all that's left is to sharpen it. Do the final check. Make sure all the edges are cleaned up. There's a couple spots. There's a little bit of glue right there. Also, the time by watching and learning useful tricks. I have a level 300 blacksmith and hardcore classic. Wow, pretty impressive, huh? Very. Go. I love using the marrow part of the antler. So much character. All right. Like, look how cool the bone marrow is. So much character in these pieces. There we go. And there's all three of those XLs. Now I just got to do the sheaths. Because this is going to be tomorrow's drop. So this will all be available tomorrow on my website. So now, oh gosh, as I drop it. Now we're going to clean up and go do sheaths. Kydex, which is arguably almost more important than the knife. People, without a sheath that's nice to carry, you won't carry your knife. So I am going to put on my gloves. Let's see, 99, we are there. So it is time to do this sheath process. So we grab our sheet or Kydex right here. This is 0.08 Kydex, Raptor texture. Making sheaths is not fun, but it is one of the most essential pieces. So we'll pop this in here. I do it for 57 seconds. We're gonna turn on our press or vacuum. It's not a fun part, but it is very essential. So got 38 seconds. Now, here's the trick. Water. Oh, water helps huge. Making sure your Kydex is heated up as hot as you can before you deform the texture. Because the hotter it is, the better retention or the better definition you're gonna get. And I have a couple things that I'll show you that help me huge, but okay, we're coming down to the wire here. 10 seconds left. Now it's gonna be stuck to the top. I'm gonna have to peel it off. 57 seconds. What happens if you go 6 years longer? For me, the texture of the Kydex starts getting deformed. So this part. But you gotta play with the temperatures and stuff. So I squirt some water on there. So that way, when I go to pull this apart, so there we go, like that. Find the back part, press right here. So the reason I used to use the toaster oven, but what happens is the toaster oven, your Kydex actually starts shrinking. But if you have it in a press, a t-shirt press, you have better heat control and it doesn't shrink, so you don't lose any of your Kydex like width. But I used to use the toaster oven too. So then I roll this to get all the proper definition. Make sure I have that. And then what we do, it happens really quickly. Go like this, we get some air, cool down the edges. Release that. There's the sheath. And then the reason the water's in there is we cool it down the rest of the way. The water creates a barrier so that I can just take this and slide it right out. And then the sheath's ready. So then I can press. I have 3 to make. Make sure that's clean. Stick that in there and press it again. Do the next one. So I just play with the temperature settings. 400 degrees at like 57 seconds works great for me. But it changes, it varies. But this has made Kydex, if I can make my least favorite part of knife making the easiest, then I'll just be really efficient and moving really quickly. So that's kind of the whole deal. I'm just really trying to make things that I don't like doing easier so I don't hate it as much. And then I also have molds that I've made to do the sheaths. Make the hard part the easiest, and then everything will be easier. At least that's the way I look at it. Here we go. 2, 1, and next. And you can do a lot of sheaths pretty quickly with this. So it's nice and flexible now. Pop that in there, spray it down. Get that nice and tight. And there she goes. And I find the retention points and I push. Just to make sure everything. I need to convince my wife to make the sheaths for me. My wife does some of the sheaths. I used to do, I mean, I like leather sheaths too, but Kydex is just more superior, unfortunately. The retention doesn't break down over time. Oils, rain, water, it doesn't matter. So that's why I do use Kydex. Now you can do Kydex and then you can do leather over the top. That's always cool. I love the look of leather. It's just not as user friendly. I have wet formed leather with this vacuum press if I want it to be a really, really tight fit. Let's cool that down the rest of the way. Ah! But yeah, so I've used this for leather before. And we'll just pop this out of here. There you go. And on to the third one. So I have these all pre-cut. So everything's meant to be as fast as possible. Make it a lot easier. We'll press the third and final one, and then I'll be done. Well, with the sheaths. I have to make the clips, the part that actually clips to your belt. But it's going. I know, because the sheaths, these things, good sheath makes this so nice to carry. Do you prefer cow, elk, or deer hide for sheaths when working with leather? Cow. Cow, and I prefer 7 to 9 ounce thick leather. And either veg tanned or sometime like the oak tan stuff. I've been planning to get into using Kydex, but didn't know how much of the basics, so I really appreciate the tips and tips. How many knives do I make a day? I have no idea. I work in batches, so it's hard to tell. But I will give you whatever tips and tricks you need. Kydex can suck, but it can also be amazing. And once you get it dialed in and down, like working really well, then it's awesome. But it does take a little while to work out the kinks of Kydex. But this little roller, which is just a piece of wood with PVC glued to it, so I can roll out all the details to make sure the definition's really, really good in these sheaths. What is the story behind your company name? So it is actually the road that I kind of started the business on. I started doing, it's where my parents lived, and at the time I started making metal art in their little shop area. And so that's why I named it Gunstone Creations, because it was Gunstone Road. I hand carve unique wood spirits. Have you ever seen them? And then make them in a birdhouse in UK. That's cool. I don't know if I've seen them. The other thing that's nice about a vacuum press is you can cool it down with air really fast. If you use the foam, you can't cool it down. Go. Look at that. Looks good. Okay. We can turn that off. Cool it down the rest of the way. pop that off of here. Nice. Lucky you grew up on a street with a cool name. Could have been like 3rd Street Creations. It could have been. Huh? Over by the forge. Under the forge against the wall. The piece of metal. Any piece of metal will work. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill these out. Now this is another jig that I made to make this way easier. Because I have this little, it's such a simple jig, but it's just a little tiny bar. Or bar. What would you call it? So I drill this first. I'm making sheaths for knives. This is the part you slide the knife into to hold it, well, like that. So that is what we are making. Okay, and then when I pull that off, I have this little tiny piece right there. And what that does is it holds it so I drill in the same spot. It's got the same spacing each time. I just move it to the next hole, drill. Where can I get that knife? It's so cute. You can go on my website, gunstonecreations.com. That's called the Baby Shark, the little one. It's my favorite EDC. This guy is the best. I have pretty big hands and it fits me great, so. So then, we just keep switching over there till we run out of room. What's a little knife? And we just run through all of them. Everyone double tap that screen. I appreciate you. You're rad. So you can see how quick this allows me to drill these holes. And they're all exactly the same spacing. So you can use any Kydex clips, gun holster clips, anything will all fit on this spacing. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now before I can rivet these together, the most important thing you got to do is you got to open them up and make sure that it's cleaned out like this. So you make sure it's really, really clean inside, because if it is not clean, when you rivet it together, you're going to end up with gaps in your Kydex sheaths. I do want it. I'd be flexing that to all the homies. It's a good knife to have. No, but they are on my website. So if you just go to gunstonecreations.com, that's where everything's available. Make sure these are scrubbed up. I see turning. Need to match the likes. You're rad. Okay, so after I get that scraped, I check. I give it one final little blow with the air. And then, oops, see, I almost missed. There's a little piece in there. Okay, now we rivet them together. So we take these little rivets like this and pop it through. And then this is what's going to actually hold the sheath together so it doesn't come apart. That'd be a bummer. So So I pop a rivet in each one of these holes. And they stick out the back. You can see this sticking out the back a little bit. And then this is just a cheap arbor press. But put it on each section. And when you press it, it bends over the sides. And now it's actually mechanically attached. So you do that for every single one of them. Doesn't take a ton of pressure either. There you go. Now it won't come apart. So we're going to do that to every single one of them. Luckily there's only 3 on this one. All right. Now let's rivet these babies on. What a riveting process, right? There we go. One more to go. And then we go to the next step. There we go. Next step. So now I got to drill out the hole. Really nice work. Can you show us your garage, your car, and the couch? This is the shop. No, I want this shit. And then there's Kevin. It's fine. My wife. This is the whole shop. It's funny because at this distance you can't hardly see anything. No. So this is the shop space. All right. Now I have the specific hole saw set up just for drilling these out. Most of my processes, they're built around 1 or 2 different things. I know that wasn't a very in-depth video, but get this thing centered. Okay. So now, there's a spring inside of here. Oh, that's too much. Got to lower this down a little bit. Get that centered again. Tighten her down. Now the spring's going to shoot the piece of Kydex out. So we get to the first one. There we go. And then there's the piece. And then the next one, there's a spring on it. So what's going to happen is it's actually going to shoot the piece out. There it goes. And then you end up with a hole. What does your kiddos think when you were talking to us? What do they think? They're not out here. Make sure that's, there we go. RB26, the original VA killer. Yeah, I don't got an RB in Kevin. What's up, Duck Rabbit Forging? There we go. Perfect. One more, and then we'll cut these out, and then we'll have ourselves some sheaths. Happens pretty quick. I heard them in the background. Oh, that's my wife. She's in the background. She's working on scales right now. They're at school. Hey. All right, let's cut them. $400 for your meat knife is a pretty good price after seeing the fresh and big love. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Cut these babies off. This is probably the most frightening tool in my workshop because it could just cut my finger right off. Every time I use it, I always think that. Well, hello, E-Dog. It's good to be scared of your tools. Always be scared of your tools. It'll make you more cautious. There we go. Now, let's switch this back. We'll grind these, and we're good to go. Never scared, just respect the hell out of it. That's a good point. Don't be scared, just remember it can descend you at any moment. That is true. No, there's not much of a difference. There's a slight difference between respect and fear. But it's when you get comfortable, that's when you get hurt. People are like, I've used this for so long. I've worked with quite a few people that were missing a finger. I didn't want to be the one. Okay, there we go. And now, they're all rough after this. Probably switch to cutting sheath. So you can see how rough they are. The next step is what cleans them up really well. And that is Scotch-Brite wheels. These babies are your best friends. So, all you have to do is after you hit them on this, because you can see how gross that is? And then it cleans it right up. Always open that up a little bit. And then like see that? You can see all those scratch marks. Nice and smooth. That is why I use those awesome Scotch-Brite. I have no idea what you are crafting, but I've been watching for 20 minutes now. You'll see what I'm crafting. I'm crafting a sheath. but I appreciate you being here. That is awesome. Sometimes it's nice just to watch someone working. Even if you don't really know what they're doing, you're just watching somebody craft. And it's kind of a cool feeling. And I appreciate you being here. Alright, one more and that's done. Oh, I know, you got the brass knucklehead. So rad. You have the only brass knucklehead in the world. How do I do the point of view streams? You guys are, you're on my iPhone 16 Pro with a fisheye moment lens. Okay, so that's all good. So now the next step is there's still some dirtiness in here. So I made a wheel, this wheel right here, so that I can go in and grind those areas. So I put it on a little Dremel. Well, this is a Fordham, not a Dremel, but either way. Yes, and I love it. Thanks, guys. Would you say Kydex is easier than learning how to make a leather sheath? It's give and take. Depends. I'd say Kydex actually is probably harder, but better in the long run. So see all those little scratches right there? There you go. So that cleans it right up. So there's these little V notches in here, and that allows me to clean them both up simultaneously because they're kind of sharp edges. So these simple tools that you could spend a little time making will make all the difference in the long run. So that rounds all the edges off. And there you go. So it's got one specific goal, and it's only for XL sharks sheaths and the baby shark sheaths. These two sheaths. That's all that tool is for. But once you use it, it's awesome. So now I'll blow it all out. And the next step is for the adjustable retention, is you got these little rubber grommets right here. This is the part that squishes down. So you can see there's a little indent right here. And that's what holds the knife in. And this rubber grommet goes in here. And you can tighten or loosen that, and that opens and closes the gap to make it hard or easier. Is it plastic or metal? This, what? These sheaths are a thermoplastic. And then the, if you're talking about the grinder tool, this is stone. You can get it from like any hardware store. So then we take the backs. Put a drop of blue, what am I talking? Blue Loctite, so that they don't come off. The backs are short, they're 1/8 inch. And the reason they're short is so that way you have a lot of room to tighten or loosen. It doesn't bottom out on the post. So then as you tighten this, I'll show you, if you look, watch that gap. As I tighten it, that gap gets smaller and smaller. Or loosen it up and it makes it a little bit wider. Ah, see, I've never seen such cutters for a Dremel before. Yeah, they're stone cutters. So this was actually just a stone, like a normal one, and then I put this on the lathe, or you could hold it there, and I took a file and filed in the grooves so that I could use it to clean up that one space. But you can get them from any hardware store. They're just like the stone cutters. So we set those. So we get those snugged up. Now, before I do anything else, I go over to the blades themselves and I check the retention. So there you go. That one's in. That one's in. That one's in. So they don't move, they don't shake. And just like that. Now the beauty behind this little retention piece, it's so hard to tell, but they're actually, I'll show you, I'm going to explain. Seems pretty good. Nice job. So the beauty behind this, it's a super simple technique, but I meant that I've never seen such a shape. I thought that you were smoothing the plastic holder with an elastic band. Oh, I gotcha. So this little bump, normally you'd think, you'd have the sheath, and here's the opening, and then you have a little bump like that, and the knife goes in here and gets caught behind this bump. But the beauty of this is this actually, in order to help it be adjusted, so like if this knife's slightly bigger, it pushes it into the sheath. Instead of it just being a bump, here's the opening, it goes like this, and then it ramps down like that. So as this knife slides in there, it actually pushes the knife down into the sheath as it gets driven down further. So that's the point of retention. And it also allows you to not be perfect on your knife. They can be slightly different. And you'll always have really tight retention because it's a ramp holding it in place. So now, the next step, that we got all those good to go, because I can put any of these knives in any of these sheaths, and they'll just work. Now I have to do clips, which I just realized we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no! I need 2 more. Tell me I got 2 more. Can I rob some? What do we got in here? There's one. Tell me I got 1 more. Tell me I got 1 more. I don't feel like making clips. Do I have 1 more, guys? I need 1 more. I think I have 1 more. Oh, that one doesn't have one on it. No! It's a really smart design. Thank you. Oh, wait, we got one. Oh, maybe. That one's kind of small. Oh, I don't have 1 more? You're kidding. Dang it. All right, fine. I'll make one, I guess. Darn it. All right. Well, I guess you're gonna see me make the clips. So I'm gonna make the clips that go on the belt. I need to make a few more. So here's the next step. Is I'm gonna cut this. This is some thick kydex. This is never done any kydex. This is all new to me. Oh, that's cool. This is 0.125, which is 1/8 inch thick kydex. Very thick. And the only reason it's that thick is because I wanted the clip to be super strong. But we have these ones. We actually go, should be 8, 16. So there we go. And then we'll do 6, 6, and we'll make our marks. And I'm doing these sheets and then they're cut so I can get 4 clips out of each chunk of kydex. Maximize my usage here. There we go. So we'll cut this on the bandsaw. Usually I cut a bunch. Hey Doug, you should try POV2 in your streams. So you guys, kydex, where would you find order sheets like that? These are 2 or 1x3 or 2x3 or something. Knifekits.com is where I order all my kydex. So now we'll cut that. And I usually cut like 10 sheets at a time, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So, basically the next lesson for us, I'm taking notes. So we'll cut them all at the same time. There we go. Just like that, you get them all cut. Oh, I gotta turn the kydex sheath, the kydex press back on. The other thing I do is I always make sure that all this gross stuff is off of here. Go. This is why I love the Baby Shark. I use it for everything. You guys want to do some point of view streaming? Yeah, the phone, you could just do the phone with a wide lens and a GoPro mount. So we're just cleaning up all this gross stuff on the outside. Because otherwise it gets put into the press and then that's gross. No streaming today, Doc? There we go. Make sure these are all clean. And then we can press on. I'm procrastinating. Make sure they're all nice. Ah! Cleaned off. I'll show you if you guys want to see my setup for streaming. It's pretty simple. It's actually I'll show you with my other phone. Here. This is my streaming setup. So all it is a moment lens. I have a DJI mic hooked up, and then my phone is mounted on a chest mount. And that is my streaming setup. And I moved the chat to the top of the phone so I can read. And it works really well. But it's nothing fancy, and you can use any phone. And I use the moment lens, but you can just turn it on the 0.5 wide, and it works really well. No, it's pretty simple, and it works great. But yeah, you can, if you download Streamlabs on your phone, I don't know if you have Streamlabs on your phone already, but Streamlabs is what I use. And then you can edit where the chat is and all that stuff, so I can see the chat. So I'm literally, it's in my point of view as I'm doing stuff. 258, we're not quite there. How many do I need? 7? Okay, I get 4 out of each sheet. So if we do two sheets, that will get us, that'll get us there. This is not hot enough, but I'm just gonna put it in there anyways. I have these jigs that I made up, and this is just for making those clips. So this whole thing is designed. I have Streamlabs, but it won't let me stream to YouTube for some reason. Oh, that's weird. We're 1 short of 7. It's 1 short of 7. I think I'm just gonna make 8, so that way I have 8 more and I don't steal them from the baby shark sheaths. You guys are so rad, you remind me. Makes things so much easier. Yeah, Streamlabs, maybe re-download it, but Streamlabs is nice for the phone, especially when you're doing the vertical feed. But I would suggest doing a vertical feed if you're doing lives. I'm sure this isn't hot enough yet. Nope, I'm gonna put it in again. It's usually supposed to be 400 degrees, but I'm rushing it. So I don't feel like waiting. This thing always gets so dusty.
Ask them color combinations for sharks.
What?
Ask them color combinations really quick.
I can't. It just gives me a link to an article from. That's weird. If you guys wanted baby shark scales, what colors would you do? Put them. Say colors.
Lean back. So
You have like any color you could ever think of. So give me color combinations, and I'm gonna scream them out to my wife and yell at her. So that's what we're gonna do. So color combos. Color combos for baby shark scales. Go. Coolest color combos you guys can think of. Let us know. 1K, and that's not an extra restriction. So I don't know. That's weird. Let's see if that's hot enough. Nope, one more. Color combos. Send them. We need them. Greens, blues, purples, pinks, magentas.
Or should I do a whole line of glows?
Or do you guys want black and lime green? Or do you want glow in the dark? Psychedelic 70s.
I could do a whole line of just glows.
We also have glow in the dark. Dark blue and red. Black and yellow. Dark blue and red's always a good one. Yeah, we do have glow in the dark as well. So all these are glow in the dark colors. Rasta.
Ooh, I remember that Rasta one I did.
Yep.
before?
Midnight black and citrus psychedelic yellow.
Ooh, like sparkly yellow? Or-
No, not sparkly. Psychedelic yellow, maybe the neon yellow up top.
Okay.
Keep them coming, guys. Every combo you could think of. I'm just gonna yell at her. All right, let's press this while you guys think of more colors. We pour a lot of scales. I'll show you. You'll got a whole alchemy setup. So here's some crazy colors that we have going. So literally lots and lots of colors. There's neons, there's so many. Huh?
I already forgot what they said.
Well, I can tell you. Paint, it is the most manly color, pink. We have black and lime green, psychedelic 70s, dark blue and red, black and yellow, Rasta, midnight black and citrus psychedelic yellow, neon yellow or neon green, neon green with blue and neon purple, phantom purple with neon red, just red. You got a lot.
I know. Thank you.
You guys are crushing it. Crushing it with the ideas. All right. This is what we do all the time. We have to come up with all these color choices, and it's after you've made thousands of knives, you tend to just be like, what do I do? Brass. Anders, she's the one that has that brass knucklehead I did years ago.
See, that's my jam.
I know. Well, I'm going to be doing the shipwreck ones. We're going to be doing, well, they're not going to be brass, I guess. They're going to be copper. But they're going to be cool.
Whoa, you've been holding out on me with these mermaid colors up here.
The mermaid colors, these color shift.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's a whole thing of color shift.
Maybe I'll do a whole thing of color shift. Look
Yeah,
at these
so, yeah,
crazy
they all
ones.
change color. So I have
I
these.
didn't even remember you had these.
I use them every once in a while. They look like mermaid.
Okay, well, I'm going to do an entire run
Okay.
of just second.
So I have like color shift ones. So this one is blue, purple, red.
Yeah, these are,
So yeah, I have a
These are-
bunch of color shift
these
ones.
are pretty. Okay.
You can mix them up. Oh yeah, you can mix them all up. You create a pattern, right? Yep. Could you do like copper, brass, and black? Yes. We could. No, we can mix them up, do a bunch of different colors. We also have liquid pigments. So you can get like ones that flow. I have real copper and brass pigments. Maybe do one each of the color shift dyes. Ooh, that's hot. Who would have thought that'd be hot? It almost feels like it's 400 degrees. Ow. Burn my fingies. Hold on. Nice car back there. You talk about Kevin? That's my summer daily driver right there. Oh, Kevy. All right, so this is how we're making I got so distracted with the colors. This is how we're making the clips. Do one of each of the color shift dyes. I think she might be doing that.
Yeah.
I think she's doing color shift. So
What they look like
when
in
you-
pool.
do color shift.
Because right now I'm going to do this one.
That's the, what is it? Gold,
Uh,
green, and blue. So in the light, they'll change.
Yeah, so then we can also see which ones are favorites.
Kevin has a nice stash. Kevin does have a nice stash. Look at Kevin's stash. But seriously, you can have gray with neon green and all this as metallic. Gray with neon green, that's a pretty cool color combo.
I don't think we've ever done that.
Nope. I don't do a lot of grays. But that's actually a good one. Yeah, that would be... Yeah, I don't do a ton of gray. Not really sure why, I just haven't. Okay, let's heat this up one more time. Hooah! And then, after they go through this, you just go... And it is set. So then I'll cut this up and I'll get 4 clamps, or clips. 4 clips. We'll just do these. We'll do 8. That'll be enough. Chameleon, yes, there is chameleon. The color shift, chameleon colors. They're really cool looking. I've done them a few times. They look better when they're really in the pigments. But, and these are all glow in the dark. Or are they? I think they are. Yeah, they're glow in the dark. But, hi Prudent. There's some cool colors. Yeah, they do look the best if they're mixed in, but they'll still be really cool. All right, let's do this last one, and then we can get these babies cut up, get these sheaths done. So all my clips are made in-house, so that just sits like that. And if I want to speed it up, I can just hit it with the air. Iridescent color, yeah. The iridescent, there's so many words for it. Color shift, iridescent, things that I just didn't even know. I order so many pigments. I mean, literally a wall of pigments. There's more up there. There's liquid dyes. There's too many. I have glow in the dark. I order so many different colors just because I'm always like, I don't know. All right. So now we can go cut these babies up and make ourselves some clips. But first thing I'm going to do is chop this off because that's too big. Oil stain that's on my for sure. Make sure it's nice and straight. Now, I do that, I'm going to clean up, while it's in one piece, I'm going to clean up this edge. Make that nice and smooth, so now you can see the difference. Those Scotch-Brite wheels work wonders. Now, this is actually a metal cutting bandsaw, but what I did is I built this little stopper. So what you can do is you can take these clips, open that up, you can put them to where they hit the stopper. And that'll cut them. And it cuts them all the right width. So then you just take it, cut that one off, open this up a little bit, slide it over till it bottoms out, clamp it, cut the next set. And this is how I cut all my clips. And if you get to the end and things want to be all weird, you just stick these on the other side, and then that clamps them all nice and straight. 10:13 p.m. in my time zone. It is 11:14 here. A.M. though. We ain't p.m. And then for the last one, I just switched this around. And let's cut a little bit off here. There we go. There we go. Now we got all our clips with the 24-hour format. 11:15, 22:15. You guys are early or late, depending on how you want to do it. There we go. They're so gross afterwards. $11.15, baby. Clean all these edges up, and then we'll drill. I got another jig for drilling the holes in the same spot, so I don't end up screwing that up. Crazy to me that we could be all over the world, all these different time zones, and we're all on this platform. It's so cool. Like, what a cool experience. Across the world, experiencing the same thing at the same time. Absolutely wild to me. So there we go. There's our 8 clips. Clean these babies up really quick, and then we'll drill them out, and they'll be ready to be attached to the sheaths. Dude, I am way too hot in here.
It's toasty in here.
What?
It's hot in here.
Oh, see, finally.
Yeah.
Well, if I turn off that heater. Oh, it's already off.
Outside it's warm outside.
It's hot. Turn this bad boy on. Suck some of the heat out of here. It's too hot. Clean up all these edges. There we go. Now I just got to drill the holes. We'll do that to each one. That's true, I'm from Germany at 8 p.m. So crazy. It's weird when there's people on here that are a day ahead. Like at a certain time, you guys it'd be Friday for you. And I'm always like, that's so wild. You guys are in the future. Go. Clean these babies up real quick, and then we'll drill them out, and they'll be done. My favorite part of the process when they're done. I wish I could read that. I certainly cannot. I stack fillers. Oh no. Oh no, more stack fillers. One more. Beautiful. There we go. Now they're looking good. Oh, I dropped it. You guys want to grab that for me? Are you going to have an after lunch POV? Maybe. I probably will, depending on what I'm doing. I think I might. So, I'm going to move this little pin over here, and that creates the spacing I need for these bad boys. So I drill the first hole. Looks like he used the middle the most on that wheel. Yeah. Well, it's just more aggressive, but for sure. Push it in there. Drill the next hole so I can't script the spacing. Flip it over here. Drill this hole. And then I transfer to that one and drill the last one. And then we got all 4 holes, which is exactly what I need, because you could take any Kydex attachment, and look at that. It lines up perfectly for all of them. So you can add any attachment you want to the belt clip, or you could just use the belt clip as is, and it'll work just fine. But that is the next step. So I just drill out all those for each one. Yeah, I definitely use the middle of the wheel the most. I try not to for that exact reason, but she wears down. Just run through all 8 of these real quick. And then we'll chamfer all the holes out, because my wife tells me to. She said it looks better. But I got all this gross stuff I gotta clean out. Yes, indeed. I'm in Friday, 28th. It's 3:20 a.m. 3:20 in the morning. What are you doing awake? Or are you not asleep? Either woke up early or you haven't went to bed. Smart wife. She is. She's a lot smarter than me. It's one of those processes where I was like, oh, I don't really want to, but it makes a difference, so. It's nice to have someone who's a good quality control. Try to use the kids, but you know, 5-year-olds don't work that well. It's hard not to use the middle. Copy keys and use the middle. I can just slide it instead of flipping it from side to side. Yeah, you get it. It's like you're like, oh, I know I'm going to ruin this wheel. I should probably not. And then there you are, using the center. That's so funny. I'm glad you know my struggle. One more to go. This is that process. It's just monotonous. I felt bad. I had an employee. Oh, I didn't feel too bad, but he would just all day long make Kydex stuff. Can you give us a tour of your belt grinders? Sure. I use the best in the biz on the belt grinders. It's simple. Beaumont Metalworks KMG grinders. They're TX model. I got one right here. And they're all, they can rotate really easy. I love them. Variable speeds. I have 2 of them. I have one there. All the attachments. I have another one here. And then this one I built. I built this belt grinder, I don't know, like 5 years ago. And it still works great. But it's not variable speed. It's 1 speed and it just is to the max. So, but those are all 3 belt grinders that I use the most. I have like little 1x30 belt grinders too, but I don't really use those. All right, let's clean these babies out. So there's junk inside of it, so I usually use the air. Unless it's stubborn. Clean those up. Enjoying your work of art. Thank you. I have the Grizzly 2x42. They're modified a little bit. The new Grizzly, or do you like it? For the price, it seems pretty decent. I have a lot of Grizzly tools. Very smart of them to get a grinder, though. I know they have their old school one, Get out of there, little sucker. The homemade one is used for high-speed product. Well, I use them on pretty much high speed anyways, but you just don't have a choice. The newer version of the old one. Oh, that's cool. It's got some gunk in there. Sometimes I don't know how it's stuck in there. Get out of there. Okay, there we go. I didn't know there was a new one when I bought it. Yeah, it's like it's a brand new one. All right, now let's clean out this next little spot right here. This is how long it takes. And people are like, why would taking knives take so long? And it's like, dude, it's these little steps. Cleaning this stuff. It was on sale for $300 down from $440, so it was too good. That's awesome. No, and I use, luckily, and I have sponsorships from some of these companies, but I reached out to them because I was going to buy one anyways, like Beaumont, and they sponsored me, so it worked out. But they just make some of the best grinders. But I used whatever I could. I went from 1x30s to little Craftsman crappy ones. All kinds of them. All right, now we're going to chamfer these edges. So got some nice contact, goes in a nice solid place, so it works good. So now they're all square. So we chamfer them. You can see that nice little chamfer on it. So I go through and just chamfer each hole. It looks much nicer. Cleans them up, makes them look good. You can thank my wife. She was like, hey, how do we get these cleaner? And I was like, I don't know. And so I was like, never mind, I know how. I had a 4x36 for the first 2 years. Yeah, well, you know what? The best grinder you have is the one, or the best grinder is the one that you have. That's the same. The one you don't have is the worst because you don't have it. There we go. Talk about handmade, huh? Jeez. There we go. I've made this process pretty easy, but I still hate it. Hate's a strong word. I dislike it. It's not fun. To me, it almost feels like it's not a waste of time, but I feel like I could make such more creative, cooler things that I'm like, ugh. It's the one that you can afford to build, for sure. Let's clean these babies off, and blew away half the table. It gets on the ground, it gets swept up, and then it's gone. All right, so those are all done. The next step, though, I have 4 of the big ones. Now the big ones get these clips as well, so I got to install those. So what we do now is we take these guys. We are making clips for Kydex sheaths, so that you can carry your knives. What did I just do with that? So I put them on there, and then I put these little rubber grommets on there. And then I pop these little guys right inside of there. And then once those are in there, I take this piece of wood, holds those in place. About close for me, knife holders. Then we take a little shot of Loctite. And we turn this right here. We have these short little guys. These little tiny screws. And I hold it straight and we give it a tighten. And then we can pull the wood thing that held it in place. And now, when these get attached to the big knives, so these go like so. So that's why they have the extra clip, and then the little clip like this, you can just put around any belt or anything you want. And you can actually still carry these. You can use the top clip as a vertical carry, or you can also just put your belt through it and still run it horizontal. So it gives you the choice. But these are only for the big ones that I put the extra piece in there. So I need to make 4 of those up. The clips or cutting sheaths always seem super bulky compared to leather. Depends. These, it doesn't really matter how bulky they are because they disappear. And it makes them easy to slide on and off of your belt, but your belt rides inside of here so they can't come off. And you can, the cool thing with these is you can attach them to anything. I could put them on my pocket and it's good. You can put them on sweatpants, anything you want, but once it's on a belt or anything, can't come off. So these ones, they're like they might be a little bulkier, but you wouldn't even notice when you're using it. There's bulkiness in the right spots. Nifty little gadget though, for sure. What?
The mill wouldn't mill these because they're not cured enough.
Wouldn't mill them?
They get gummed up because they're still pretty
They're not set?
not set.
Oh. Interesting. By the way, the delay between you and the chat is about a minute or 2. What? Really? That's crazy. A minute or 2? That's excessively long. I wonder why it's so long. For me, it's like 5 seconds. Oh, okay. I think that's on your end, lamp. Ah, dropped it. Okay, I was like, how are you guys answering if it was that slow? That would make more sense. I was about to say a minute. We're screwed. I don't think it's that long, and I've been lurking. I'm glad that it's not a minute or 2, because then I'd be like, well, I'm screwed. I pay for high-speed internet out here. 10 seconds, I stand corrected. Were you exaggerating? That's funny. Hello, Gordy. Welcome But like 15, you guys, I love it comparing how fast it is. I'd have to do the test on my end, huh? It's like 10 or 15 seconds between when I send the message and when it pops up on the screen chat. Ow, just stabbed myself. Oh, that makes sense. I could see that. When, I think it's about 10 seconds for sure. I'm watching this live stream from Russia, of course, with VPN. Maybe that's the reason. That might be the reason there. Do you guys have to watch the live stream with VPN? Oh, you guys aren't allowed to use YouTube right now. That's insane to me. I don't understand how they can do that. Because I saw the thing on my YouTube thing that Russia wasn't allowed to use YouTube services, which is, to me, insane. Just don't get it. Okay, last one with this clip. Same way we can ban TikTok. Except it's not banned. What grit do you finish a blade to if you don't stonewash them? If I don't, I go to 120, and then after 120, I hit it with a Scotch-Brite belt. If I don't stonewash them. But 120 is pretty much my minimum. It was banned for like 2 hours. It was. So funny. There we go. There's all 4 of those. Now I'll just put these together and then we'll have our clips done. Ta-da! Freaking done. Done! Which makes me happy. I love the clips. I love the whole thing. When they're all set up, it's so satisfying to have the sheaths, but I don't like making them. 2-hour ban, big deal, you know? I'm in Norway, so 10 seconds is fast. Twitch takes like 20 seconds for my type to show up. All right, let me see. What'd you do? All right, so you just made it loose?
Check it. Don't talk.
Well, I can't check it without taking this out. Because the depth you wouldn't know.
Well, I just
But
did
you
it according to that.
and you pushed it down and in the center one?
Yeah.
Then you should be good.
Okay.
That's money.
Okay.
Good work.
Thank you.
You nailed it. All right. My morning was planned with chores. Watching you is more important and satisfying. You know what you guys got to do? You got to get a POV set up like I do. And then you could have your phone mounted on your chest while you do chores. You could just be watching while you were working. I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious. Although, I wouldn't suggest that much screen time. All right. So now, we can put the sheaths together for their final form. And then all I have to do is sharpen them. So let's pop these babies out. What are you making? I am finishing up Kydex sheaths for these knives. So all these sheaths are getting the clips so they can have. And here I am doing clothes, dishes, and vacuuming the floor. See, you guys got it. Multitasking. It's all about the multitasking. So now, let's do this. We're going to take a handful of these screws. Although I mixed them up on accident one day and got a bunch of the shorties dumped in here, which really sucks. There we go. Fortunately, I have a cell plan that has unlimited data / watching. There you go. So we're going to put a little Loctite on each one of these. Just a little tiny dab. I don't know why. It always gets caught. Don't mind when I put an excessive amount on some of them. That's my bad. Pop the screws in here. Like so. Boom. Tighten them down and then they're ready to rock. So you can see the rubber. Darn it! You can see the rubber grommet get snugged up. The cool thing with these is you can take this and flip it over, so you can right hand carry, you can flip it to the other side, left hand carry, you can vertical carry or horizontal with all these. Well, you trick your mind from thinking about doing chores to just doing it while watching something. That is true. Psychology on ourselves, huh? Some days I wish I could just be a robot and just like get stuff done and then wake up and not actively have to do anything. Like I could just shut my brain off, make these kydex, and then like come to afterwards and be like, oh cool, the kydex is done. That'd be nice. I always put something on while I'm washing dishes. It's a good call. Take the boredom away. Multitasking isn't my strong suit. Fortunately, I had to. Am I missing a sheath? Oh no, there was only 3. Never mind. I made too many. It's alright. Now I'll put these babies together. Not allowed, but... Hi from England. What's going on? So cool. You guys are all over the world. And local people. That's so crazy to me. Oh. There we go. Drill, drill. What isn't allowed in your country? YouTube? That's crazy. Goodness. You move on autopilot. I have ADHD, so that's what helps me. Everyone is different. For me, delay now. 5-10 seconds. Oh, nice. It's not bad at all. Can't wait to be done with this, Sheath. To do it all again next week. It's funny, this is my dream job, but there's still parts of it that you're like, ah. That's why they're saying if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life is so not true. So I do love what I do, but I definitely have to work. All right, one more, and then these sheaths are done. Done, done, done. Am I a happy camper? You live in the U.S., right? Yep, I do. The U.S. of A. Boom! Look at all them sheaths. Due to PTSD, I have to stay focused on one subject intensely. Yeah, that's PTSD is a serious thing. Oh, the donut ones? And I haven't done those for a while. Yeah, I have the after here in just a few minutes. All right, so the sheaths are all done. Just got hit with a burp. Look at that. Look at that setup. These are all dropping tomorrow. So the setup is cool because you can vertical carry like this. Or you can horizontal carry and slide this in the belt. It's like, I love destroying stuff, but what a pain to clean it up, right? Did the tattoos. I did the tattoos on myself. Well, not this one. I did all these. My arm has a bunch of tattoos I did on myself, and then my legs are covered. I like art stuff, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. I think it'd be fun. So That's what happened. I tattooed myself. That antler handle is absolutely beautiful. Thanks. Stay. I know these two are so rad. Also, the ballistic scales are epic. 5.56 rounds and 2.23 rounds, and then we got these babies, just like so. Oh, I love the click. So satisfying. Boom! There we go. That's tomorrow's drop. Yes! Stoked. All right. Why are they called scales? Honestly, I have no idea. That's just what they're called. Now that is premium craftsmanship. Thank you so much. I have no idea why they're called scales, actually. Because they go on the outside? Maybe, no, they don't even like protect the blade. I don't know, actually. Weird. So, all right. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat lunch. Why are you crying? Cry face. But thank you for saying that about the craftsmanship. I try really hard to make cool knives and functional knives because I like to carry them and use them, and I don't want to have ones that suck. As for my dream job, I'm going to work at a factory soon after college. It's a shame I won't get to break lathes in practice anymore. Not crying, laughter. Oh, well, crying laughter. That's what I meant. I didn't mean crying. You're not crying. You're just sitting over there bawling. Oh, man. You're going to work at a factory. That's your dream job, is to work at a factory? Break lathes? You shouldn't break lathes. I hope you're not breaking lathes. Oh, goodness gracious. You look like Pizzette. Well, as a joke, I shaved my face into a mustache. And it was a joke, and then I forgot that I shaved my face into a mustache. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm surprised. Because I'm like, oh, right, I have a mustache. And I never have a mustache, so I need to shave it off. But here we are with a freaking mustache. And I don't know what Pizzette is. Pizzette? Pizzette? What's Pizzette? I don't know what that is. Hopefully not disappointing person. Anyways, I need to go get some food because it's hot. I'm sweaty. I want to eat some food and drink some drinks. So I might hop back on here after lunch. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys being on here. You guys are badass. Peace, homies. Look like flipping 12 without any beard. Look like you're 12 without any beard. You know what? That's probably a good thing. Not a dream job, but basic for Russian student. Of course, I won't work at a factory the rest of my life. Machines will break earlier. Good stream. Thanks for being here, guys. I really do appreciate that. You guys are rad.